Yippee! Yee-ha-ha! Next example, example 5. I think this is what we're on next. Example 5. Hey, where's my pen? Example 5. Let's say we want to solve this thing. X squared equals 4x. How are we going to solve that? The first thing that we need to do is get 0 on one side. We could move x squared over to the right, or we could move 4x over to the left. But what we actually need to do is remember that it's a good idea for us to keep the squared part positive. It's going to be better to subtract 4x from both sides. And what are we going to get here? That's going to be 0. Whoops. Okay, looks like a smiley face with a 0. Sorry about that. And on the left-hand side, these are not like terms, so it's not something crazy like negative 3x squared, nothing like that. All we can do is write these two things side by side, and the higher exponent goes first, x squared minus 4x. Now, notice that this quadratic has no back end. There's no number there. It's 0. So I guess there's a number there at 0, but it doesn't really help us. We have ax squared, we have our bx, but we have no constant term, no regular number there. With a quadratic like this, the way you want to solve it is by factoring out the GCF. Let's find out what the GCF is. I'm going to write a 1 in front of that x squared. What's the biggest number that divides into 1 and 4? Okay, that would be 1, right? That's going to be part of our GCF. Now, how many x's can I take out? Remember, the smaller exponent always wins. In this case, it's 1. We can take out a single x. So our GCF is 1x. And what I want to find out now is what is left over. Let's see. I have what times 1 gives me 1? Well, that's 1. I had 2 x's looking at the exponent. I took a single x out, an x to the first. How many x's would I have left? I would have a single x to the first. What do I multiply 1 by to give me negative 4? Negative 4, right? Now, let's see what happens with our x's. I had an x. I took an x out. How many x's are on this 4? 0. No more x's, because we only had 1 to start with, x to the first, and we took that out. So there's no x's on that 4, and this is still equal to 0. Now, to find out the solutions, we have to set each factor equal to 0. And if it bothers you that this 1x isn't in parentheses, if you wanted to, you could put them in parentheses if it makes you feel good, but it's not really necessary. So 1x equals 0. That tells us one solution is 0. And maybe I should show why that is. 1x equals 0. Divide both sides by 1. X equals 0. Okay? There's one solution. Our other solution, x minus 4 equals 0. We're going to add 4 to both sides. And that tells us the other solution is positive 4. And there you have it. Our two solutions, x equals 0, x equals 4. All right. This video is history. It's toast. Good job. Arrivederci. Adios.